Welcome you all to Believers IAS Academy, and in this today's topic of the day discussion, we will be discussing about a very interesting topic which is of UPSC's favorite when it comes to their prelims stage of the examination. Yes, we will be discussing about the jellyfish in specific, but holistically we will be talking about the phylum Cnidaria, the family of the jellyfish in detail in this particular video. And without any further delay, let's dive in and try and understand as to why we need to study this. Of course, why is it important, and why is it in news? Recently a study was published by Javier Montenegro et al. Published, and of course this publication is not important, but this research that they did with respect to deep sea research, right, that they conducted in the year 2025, the major focus was to study on this jellyfish, particularly one of the species of the jellyfish, that is the Botrynema brucei ellinorae, right. So this is the species on which the major study was happening, the major focus was happening with respect to their deep sea research. So now, is this important? No, not to an extent as to the UPSC prelims is concerned, but it is important to understand or study about jellyfish as a species, for the UPSC examination as a part of your environment or ecology, syllabus, right? So now, why is this important? As I said, UPSC has time and again given us hints that it is important for you to understand or study about species. Like for example, this is the question from 2024, the prelims. Here, a few species, animals, the insects were mentioned, the carabid beetles, centipedes, flies, and the question was specifically related to parasitoid species, right? Which amongst these species fall under or are categorized as the parasitoid species, right? So of course, it is not that UPSC is directly asking what parasitoid, as a concept is, but unless you do not know what parasitoid concept is, you will definitely not be able to answer any of these things. Followed by another question. It was also on the same year, right, 2024. It had given 3 different species, cicada, froghopper, and pond skater, and it wanted, the UPSC wanted to the students to select or categorize which of these species fall into. Are they birds, fish, insects, reptiles? Of course, the question seems very simple, but it is a difficult question unless you know what exactly the particular species fall into, right? So hence it becomes important to study about the Cnidaria as a family. So now let's begin. What is Cnidaria? It's a particular family, the phylum under the kingdom of Animalia, right? Of course, a lot of biological terms which is absolutely kind of okay to remember, but it is good that you know about it. It comprises more than 11,000 known species of aquatic organisms, very important. And this group primarily includes the jellyfish, sea anemones, and corals, right? So the family Cnidaria includes these species, the jellyfish, sea anemones, and the corals. And this is the different classification or different classes of Cnidarians. This is also kind of important. You have to know the important classes, subclasses of the Cnidaria family, that is your Anthozoa, Polyphodiozoa, Hydrozoa, Myxozoa, Scyphozoa, Starozoa, Cubozoa. At least these terminologies, it is very important that you know these wordings at least. There could be a statement in the UPSC examination asking which of the following classes or the classes of the species is a part of your phylum Cnidaria family, right? They could give you some 5-6 options and might give you the options where you will have to choose it, right? So these things very important. Of course, you don't have to necessarily go too much in depth, to understand what all species come under the Anthozoa class, right? All those things are not important, but at least you need to know that Anthozoa, Polyphodiozoa, Starozoa, Scyphozoa, Cubozoa is part of your Cnidaria family, and jellyfish is also what? It is what? It is a part of your Cnidarian family, right? So this is important. Now let's move on to the key features of the Cnidaria phylum, the family. One of the key astonishing feature is the presence of cnidophytes, right? So what are these cnidophytes? They are specialized stinging cells unique to cnidarians. This point is very important. They are very unique to cnidarians. The cnidophytes which we are talking about is present in the tentacles. So here is the image. So why do these jellyfish or these organisms use tentacles? Basically, that is through which they kill or eat or let's say attack their prey. So these cells contain harpoon-like structure, like harpoon, harpoon. You understand harpoon, pin-like structure, primarily used to capture prey, and in some cases severe serve as anchors. They also help the jellyfish to kind of anchor themselves to any particular organisms or any particular plants or organisms beneath the sea. And another important feature, the body structure. Their bodies have gel-like layer called as mesoglia. So basically, this is mesoglia, the gel-like structure between the two thin epithelial tissue, and they show radial symmetry. This is also one of the important feature of cnidarians. And another important specific feature with respect to cnidarians is they have this radial symmetry, the feature radial symmetry, even from their young stage. Okay, even from their small stage itself, they have this radial symmetry, and with tentacles surrounding the central mouth. So basically, these are the tentacles. This is the mouth, right? And another feature, the body forms. It has two different distinguished body types. One is the medusa, another one is the polyp. Medusa is the free swimming like the jellyfish. This is an example, classic example to denote what medusa is. And then there's another stage, it is called as the polyp stage, pretty much fixed, docile. And these polyp stage, the examples are corals and sea anemones, right? Of course, they are all cnidarians. All of this, even this is also cnidaria, this is also cnidaria. These are two different distinct body types, right? Body parts, types. And even one other important thing to keep in mind, that there is a particular, in fact, even the jellyfish go through a polyp stage, right? Go through a polyp stage, and eventually, right, they also, were once a polyp and then would have become a jellyfish. Of course, we'll not get too much, in detail there, which is absolutely not required for the exam. We'll just stick to what is, relevant and important. Another important feature is the single opening. It has both the, the single orifice that functions as mouth and anus, leading to central body cavity used for digestion and gas exchange. So usually the primary feature, another important feature of these cnidarians is they have only one opening in their body, which acts both like mouth and also the anus, where they excrete and also they eat from the same opening, right? This is also another important feature. Then reproduction. While some of the cnidarians, they have, they exhibit sexual, reproduction, they also have, special feature of, asexual reproduction also. Example, they show this, reproduce asexually when they are at the polyp stage, usually, through budding, right? These bud, they detach from the parent body, and this further becomes a new polyp in itself. So that is the asexual means. And then many have complex life cycles. Once the polyp stage is done, that eventually also will get into the the medusa stage. And in the medusa stage, they exhibit sexual reproduction, where the sperms and the ovum, the egg is released to the water, and sexual reproduction takes place, right? So these are all some of the important key features of the cnidarian family. So one is the presence of cnidophytes, which are helpful for them to kill or to attack the prey, right? Next is the body structure. The radial symmetry is very important, and the presence of medusa, a very thick jelly-like structure between the two epithelial tissues, right? Third is the body forms that they have. They exhibit two different body types. One is the medusa stage, and another one is the polyp stage. And then another important feature is the presence of a single opening for both the function of eating and also excreting. And then the reproduction, they exhibit both asexual reproduction and also the sexual reproduction also. So asexual reproduction during the polyp stage and sexual reproduction during the medusa stage. So this is more than sufficient. Now let's solve one question from the from the prelims point of view. Which of the following animals belong to the phylum Cnidaria? So this is how the UPSC would mostly target and ask the questions. Of course, I cannot say this is exactly how it asks, but based on the way they have asked from last few years, this is the possible way. So you don't have to necessarily get into the essential details, but you just have to know which amongst the species are a part of your Cnidaria. So one is the sea anemone. We have studied Portuguese man o' war, starfish, and jellyfish. What are the answer? So I think maybe you can just pause the screen and then utilize the comment section to leave the answer below, right? So anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope it was clear as to what Cnidaria family is. And for more such informative content, please do subscribe to Believers IAS Academy YouTube channel. And signing off, this is Madan Gopal. Have a beautiful day.